What is up, YouTube? Today we are going to paint this thing. I actually just hosed this thing off. This thing got really muddy. I tested it and it drove it through the mud and it got really muddy. I put on the brand new axle, the brand new rear tires, and a brand new torque converter. This thing is awesome. The only thing I am going to change on this is I am going to put a even smaller sprocket right there. It's still not small enough. It has a lot of power, but it's still really not that fast, and I really want this thing to be just outrageously fast because that's what I love. So I may even turn that into a smaller sprocket and make this thing go even faster, because right now this thing just has incredible power, and I don't really want that because you know, I don't really have anywhere to take this thing. But if I had some like dirt roads to take this thing on, and I would definitely turn this thing into a power machine. But where I live, it's all roads, so I really want to go fast. So this thing's gonna just be super fast and not really that powerful. So I gotta change that sprocket into something even smaller, but that's something to do after I paint it. So yeah, simple enough. Just strip this whole thing down, take everything off, and then I gotta take a wire wheel with my angle grinder and just grind off all this old paint. That'll be fun. And then get ready to put on a new paint. What I'm going to do is, here's all the paint that I have. Here's the first coat. This is a automobile primer. This is actually the first time I've used this stuff. I don't know. It's Rust-Oleum, so it's pretty good. Then and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint the entire frame black, and then everything that is not attached to the frame, like the tie rods, the gas pedal, the brake pedal, the steering arm, basically everything that can come off of the go-kart, I'm going to paint it red, including all the wheel hubs. I'm going to paint the wheel hubs red, and so it'll look really awesome. So yeah, simple enough. And then what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to see what this stuff does. Crystal clear enamel. This is the last coat. I did a test piece. Right here is a test piece. I just spray painted it red and then put that clear coat enamel on there. It bubbled a little bit because I didn't wait for the red paint to dry, and it seems pretty good. Doesn't scratch off at all. Not really, you know. Well, okay, maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit in spots, but this is only just one coat of that enamel, and I'm probably gonna do 2 or 3. So hopefully this paint job will last. Hopefully it won't scratch off like all my other paint jobs. Because every time I paint something, it ends up scratching off even if you touch it. So yeah, hopefully this paint job lasts, and hopefully this stuff works. It should. It's enamel, so hopefully it'll work. So first step, just take everything off. Take this whole thing apart. Okay, I tore it all apart. I was able to take everything off except for the brake lever thingy, whatever. And this thing's starting to rust really bad. That's one main reason why I'm doing this. And but before I start grinding all the paint off and before I start painting everything, I'm just gonna strengthen up a little more around there. I have this extra piece of metal. I'm gonna cut little angled pieces and weld them to like right there and there, and some other places, maybe like little ones right here and little one over there, just to, you know, keep this frame from tweaking. And so yeah, I'm gonna paint this whole thing black, and then paint this red. I'm gonna paint all these little pieces that are in between here red, and paint all this little stuff red. So yeah, it's gonna look awesome. This stuff's really dirty too. I gotta clean it. Yeah, so it'll be fun. So, fun part. After I finish welding all that, the fun part is taking a wire wheel to this whole frame and grinding off the old paint. That's gonna be fun. Okay, I got these welded on, and little piece right there welded on, and that's probably about it with all the I don't know, I don't want to do too much because too much welding does weaken metal, so I don't know, I think it's fine. It's perfectly fine. It's, you know, so yeah, the fun part, grinding all this old paint off. That's gonna be fun. Alright, I ground all the old paint off and all the rust off. So, frame's clean, everything looks nice. I ground off all the paint on these hubs on this side. I wasn't really able to get all the paint right here next to the stem, but no big deal. It should, you know, adhere just fine. And I got all this stuff. I'm going to paint red. All this stuff right here is I'm paint red. All these little things that slide onto the shaft. I'm not gonna try and scrape the paint off of this thing. I'm gonna try to rough it up with like sandpaper a little bit. But I was thinking about that, and I really can't get the wire wheel in there. I don't know. I could a little bit. I could get around half of this whole thing, but I don't want to. So I'm just gonna rough it up with sandpaper and just hope for the best. And then gotta get a smaller sprocket than this, so I gotta cut off this hub, and then also I forgot to scratch all this rust off of here. I may get a new one, just because this one has a huge dent in it. You can see it right there. There's a huge dent in it, so I don't know, I may get a new one. Just for now, paint it, make it look nice. And then after that, I gotta clean all this stuff. This stuff's really dirty. I've kind of been preoccupied a little bit. I bought myself a new toy. This thing is awesome. 4-wheel drive. Ruckus 4x4. This thing is sweet. Anyway, yeah. Fun part is painting, which is actually really fun. I like painting. But anyway, yeah. Pulled out to the shed and start painting. Okay, I just finished painting this thing. I put 3 or 4 coats of paint on this thing and then 2 coats of lacquer. I was gonna do 3 coats, but I didn't have enough spray paint, so screw it. 2 coats is just enough. So yeah, it looks really nice. It doesn't scratch off easy, except I did scratch this really bad putting this back onto here. No big deal. And I got all this stuff painted. It looks awesome. It looks pink in the video, which is kind of weird. Does that help? Does that help? Kinda. So yeah, all this stuff looks pretty good. I kind of screwed up in here. You can't really see it. Yeah, right there, and just basically right here. Just looks stupid. But yeah, so got everything painted. Now I'm ready to put this thing back together. Got my friend here, Ryan, to help me.
How are ya?
And yeah, I'm probably gonna do a time-lapse video of us putting it back together. Maybe not. I'm not sure yet. But yeah. So let's just start putting this thing back together. All right, I got it all put back together. It looks awesome. I did scratch some paint right here and right there. No big deal, just reshoot it. No big deal. The only thing we didn't fix or put back together was the throttle cable. That's no big deal. It's like 10 minutes to do it. So yeah, this thing looks awesome. Brand new torque converter, brand new 1-inch axle on this thing. So yeah, I did make a time-lapse video. Me and my friend putting it back together, and it was like an hour long, so I'll try to narrow that down as short as I can, make it not like a 20-minute video, hopefully not. So yeah, I am going to make another video of me riding this thing just because I want to show it off, and because it has a new torque converter on it and a new axle. So it is one thing that kind of bums me out is it's not as fast as it used to be. With the centrifugal clutch, this thing hauled ass, but it really had no power. Now this thing has a lot of power, but it's not as fast as it used to be. So why I didn't paint the sprocket is because I'm going to put on a different one. I'm going to put on a tiny bit smaller, just to make this thing even a little more fast, just because this thing was so much fun, you know, going fast. So I'm going to put the smallest sprocket on there and then make the video of this thing. So look for that video. That'll probably be part 3 or part 4, depending on how long painting video is. So thank you for watching, subscribe, and have a nice day.